Welcome back to the channel. And we have to start it off by saying what a game of football, you know what I'm saying? Manchester City won, Tottenham Hotspur 0. And it was one of the goals Pep Guardiola set out for us to do this season, and we finally did it. Being able to actually score a goal at Tottenham Hotspur's home stadium. And it's crazy to think that we haven't done that in such a long time, and it's good to be able to progress in the FA Cup now, going further in the Cup after winning that game. But I feel like if we look at the game itself, I think it was a fairly decent game. I feel like it was more or less kind of more of a midfield battle, most of it really. I think City played very well. I think we were able to really contain Tottenham a lot. I think Tottenham didn't even get that many shots. I think they only had one opportunity with Brennan Johnson running through, and Ortega obviously saved that. Just kind of got off his line really quickly, and that helped save that situation. I think that's the only shot really really decent shot they got. But other than that, I think it was a very good performance from the team. I think, to be honest, I think Tottenham did a lot of things right in that game. I think the courage that they play with, which is something obviously Ange, you need to give Ange a lot of credit for, right? The way Tottenham have been playing this season, I think it's very, what can I say? It's very risky football, I have to say, but it's also very entertaining, you know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful to see how Ange is sticking by his principles. He's literally telling his teams that this is how it's going to be played every single game. Doesn't matter who the opponent is, you know what I'm saying? And obviously we saw this the first time around, right? When we faced them in the league and we went to that exciting game, right? But we're seeing it doesn't matter the opponent, it doesn't matter the occasion, and just sticking by his principles, and he's going to play the way he wants to play. And I need to give props to certain Spurs players in this game, right? There were so many players I felt like just played unbelievably. Firstly, the two fullbacks. The two fullbacks are playing at an unbelievable level right now. Yesterday, right? Because once again, I think referring to, I had a conversation with one of my friends, right? And we were discussion about Spurs, right? And we were talking about Destiny Udogie. And this game, I was really watching him, right? And that kid, man, for his first season in the league, I can't name a better left back than him in the league right now. He is playing so, and it's crazy to think, because how in that game I'm thinking to myself, is he a left back or is he a midfielder? Because the amount of times you see him in midfield, you see him literally playing like almost like in like a number 10 role. Sometimes you even see him in that striker position. Like the way Ange has these players playing is crazy. But Destiny Udogie, man, what a player. What a player. And he's playing at such a high level. It's crazy. I genuinely think he's the best left back in the league right now. I can't really see anyone else. But then again, I mean, if you look at it, right, the the selection of left backs in the Prem right now aren't really that high, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, Destiny, man, the way he was playing, and obviously these counterparts in Pedro Porro again, the amount of needle passes I was seeing him ping there, the way he's just driving through with the ball, the calmness that he had, the composure, how even you look at Van de Ven and Romero, I think they were playing very well. They worked really hard to keep us very limited to scoring goals, to making clear-cut opportunities. I think I think there was one opportunity where we were on the break and we seeing how, I think we had like 3 shots lined up and all 3 got blocked, and thanks to like Van de Ven and Romero really working hard and making sure nothing happens there. There was an opportunity where Phil Foden got in the half turn, and I think there was a pass that was given to him. I forgot who. I think it was Kovacic, right? Kovacic gave him this pass, and then it was kind of this foot race between Van de Ven and Phil Foden. And the way that Van de Ven was able to cover the distance and really stop him with that slide tackle, gotta give him the credit. And you can see that Tottenham are very happy to have him back after the injury, and the partnership between him and Romero is really good, right? But then obviously got to talk about Manchester City now, right? We obviously won the game. We had opportunities. The game starts off really well. I think we were really threatening here and there. A lot of half chances, nothing crazy. Then obviously we had that shot from Foden, which then put in by Oscar Bob, and obviously got ruled out for offside. But then those are the early warning signs of something that may happen. But obviously as the game went on, not many opportunities were presented that we really took. Like, we didn't really take our chances. We didn't really make those really like clear cut chances. Also. But I have to give my props to certain players. I think Kovacic was really good this game. I think he played very well. And to be honest, Kovacic, he's been very underwhelming for me this season. He hasn't really been playing at a very high level, really. But I think this game he was really good. I think the way he was kind of receiving the ball, driving with it. I mean, the amount of times he was able to kind of like dribble past one or two players and drive with the ball, kind of like starting the attack. I think he's been doing that he was doing very, very well in this game, right? I think also Kyle Walker played pretty well. I think, especially since there's been this narrative on Kyle Walker this season kind of being like, is he finally dropping off? Is he no longer the pace maybe dropping off? Is he no longer that player who can really like recover or rely on his pace? I think this game he played really well. We've seen that he's still at that level. He's still playing at a very high level and everything like that. Ortega, I think he had a pretty good game. His distribution was pretty good. Phil Foden, obviously, as always. Rodri, again, played really well. Oscar Bob, I must give him his shit. A player I really want to talk about, though, Julian Alvarez, right? Now, I'm kind of very skeptical about Alvarez this season, right? Obviously, we saw what he did last season, World Cup. We saw what he did, unplayable. We saw what he did, obviously, anytime he got an opportunity off the bench or he was starting whenever Haaland wasn't there last season, right? We saw what he did there. This season, I'm kind of noticing a trend with him, right? And I don't know if it's maybe because he's just not ready to be a starter yet or something like that, or maybe he's just been playing. But I feel like his decision making this season has not been very good. I feel like there was a lot of decisions in this game where I just feel like maybe that wasn't the right pass. Maybe you could have held it on a bit longer. Maybe you could have done better in this situation. And another thing about him that I realized in this game is again, this season he's not clinical. He hasn't been very clinical like the way he was last season. Last season, anything you put in front of him, he'd probably score from almost any angle. Whereas this season, I'm kind of seeing a trend of he's really not been performing at a very good level. I mean, he's still been decent, but I feel like his clinicalness hasn't been very good this season. And there was this opportunity where I think he got there was a chance. I think Foden kind of laid it off for him, and then he kind of like bobbled up on him. He couldn't really control it very well, and then the shot kind of like went over the bar. And again, it's just situations like that. I feel like he should be doing better. He should be performing a bit better in those type of situations, because obviously you have someone like Haaland. Yes, maybe he hasn't been performing at the same level as last season, but give him those opportunities, he's scoring, and I feel like he's kind of missing that clinicalness so far this season. But other than that, I think the boys played very well, and obviously, once again, Nathan Ake does it for us again. He did it for us in the FA Cup against Arsenal last season, and he's doing it again this season, getting us that crucial goal we needed right there in the 80th minute, somewhere in the 80s, And I was very happy about that. Again, Jeremy Doku came in. I think he played it pretty decently. Again, he gives you what he's been giving us this season. Very, very electric, very, fast paced, quick, and it's always exciting to watch him play. Even though I don't think he was probably his best cameo, but I think he did what he needed to do. Kevin De Bruyne, I think obviously he was decent. There were a couple of passes that he was really trying to force through that really didn't work out this time around. We all know that needle through pass he likes to do that. Really pass it onto the left hand side. I think he wasn't really getting that pass very well this game. But again, he's just coming on 20 minutes and just trying to give us something, and he's still trying to recover. His fitness probably isn't there as much, so I'm gonna forgive him. Still Kevin De Bruyne, you know what I'm saying. But good game all in all. through again to the next round of the FA Cup. So we'll have to see that, and hopefully we're going to be performing. I hopefully we get an easier draw and everything like that. But who knows? Trouble? Who knows? Another trouble? That'd be nice. But we'll just have to see. It was a good game. We'll have to see it. And obviously, again, I just really need to talk about Tottenham again. But Tottenham's, I really like what they do. I really like what Ange's been doing with the team. I really like what he's been doing. They've been playing really well. And obviously now they have Madison coming back. Van der Ven is there now. You know, they're having some of their players. I feel like obviously they kind of missed that someone to really get onto the end of some of the chances they were creating. I mean, because I feel like they weren't creating as much, but I feel like if they had someone like Heung-min Son, obviously you can kind of see that they're kind of missing him up there. So if they had someone like him in that game, maybe it would have been a different story. Because we're seeing a Timo Werner, you know, we kind of know what you're going to get from a Timo Werner. Someone's going to work hard, he's going to try his best, but once he gets into that final third, it doesn't really provide much.